The United States was supposed to be the nation that rebelled against empire and centralized power. And then within, a f- I'm going to say a few hours after the successful revolution, the United States had to say, oh, we have a contiguous land empire of our own. So we've just completed a rebellion against empire. And now we have to start creating the agencies to do what we just rebelled against, the administration, centralized administration of an empire. So paradox is too weak a term for that. Um, but I'm not sure that I think contradiction is too simple a word.
Mm.
But it is absolutely the case that the acquisition of land and the drive of individual citizens to acquire land required an almost instant contradiction of the premises of the revolution. But it's the paradox of we will exert more federal power in order to give individuals more individual opportunity. The great issue for every president is when will the nation get too big
Mm.
and when will it have overextended? Some of them really put time and trouble into thinking about that, and plenty of citizens think about that as well. How big can a democratic republic be before it's not going to work? It's too big. It's too spread out. It has too many. It has too many people. Too many citizens. So expansion is never a complete hooray for this thing because it's too clear that it comes with unforeseeable complexities of just how well can a nation cohere when it spreads from coast to coast. And how are you going to avoid everything from a creation of a very burdensome, very detailed bureaucracy to move that land from public domain into private ownership? The word disposal, usually used for that, to turn the public domain into private property. That is really going to take a lot of clerks sitting with paper, filling out forms. It's a little bit humorous to be saying this at this particular time of American history, but the notion that bureaucracy is going to have to accompany it and will proliferate and grow through that, that's not anyone's inspirational visionary speech about land acquisition to say, by necessity, this will mean the federal government will have more agencies in the executive branch and there will be more clerks filling out forms. The acquisition of land in the American West did accelerate the expansion of federal power, staffing, designation of agencies, and so on. In fact, you can say, some scholars have said very forcefully, that we make a mistake when we present, as I often did in American history survey classes, the chronology of the growth of the federal government. We would always say in my American history classes and in the textbooks that the federal government was pretty small, not totally small, but kind of small until the progressive era and all the regulatory agencies came into being and then got much bigger with the New Deal. No, no, that was Western American historians not noticing how much the growth of a bureaucracy was one of the key features of westward expansion. So various people have written wonderfully, historians, about can we rethink that?
Mm.
When did the federal government get so big? Can we rethink that? Can we look at the Office of Indian Affairs? Can we look at the Department of War? Can we look at the General Land Office? Can we? I mean, it's just the post office and the extension of the post office. Uh, all of these ways in which you're not doing the most factual statement if you say the federal government remained small until the progressive era and the New Deal. You really have to say that thing was really getting big in the 19th century because how could it not? The administration of the Transcontinental Railroad funding, the corruption when there's a river of money